Welcome to Joa Fitness Health Wellness Video Podcast, a space to ignite your day through positive conversations. We bring people that have created excellence in their life, sharing high vibration in their reawakening path.
Happy Friday, happy May. The new month of May just started today, May 1st on Friday, and I am here as your host of Joa Fitness Show every Friday, bringing you information, especially for people that have back pain. I've been putting a lot of podcasts related to the spinal health. And today I am with Nav Grewal. She's a pelvic care physiotherapist of the city of Toronto. And we both got connected when I became a doula in the Toronto Yoga Mamas. This amazing space is dedicated for women that are passing through the beautiful experience of becoming mothers. And that's how I met Dr. Nav Grewal. Basically, she just was teaching us how to understand the pelvic floor in the woman's pregnancy transition. So how are you, Nav? Tell me. Welcome, May, and how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on again, Joa. And I was just thinking as you were speaking, I think it was last year when we met. It seems like such a long time ago, but like so much has happened since then, and we've collaborated in so many different ways. And I continue to enjoy doing these podcasts with you so that we can inform everyone about health, wellness, well-being. So it's been great. Thank you.
Great, yes, thank you. It's been more than a year, to be honest. It's been almost probably 2 years because I went to the doula in 2018, and I think I met you about 2 years, but we started working together probably like a year and a half ago, something like that. It's just time flies, especially when you're having fun. Plus, you and I, we have a lot of things in common. Like we do practice many rituals in our life, very similar, so we kind of get so aligned when we talk. So always being blessed to be around a tribe and a community of people that support my purpose and my dreams. So today I wanted to just bring some content for everyone, not only for the spinal health, but actually in this moment for the professionals out there. They're being struggling with the lockdown because the quarantine in Spanish, I'm from Venezuela, quarantine is cuarenta. Cuarenta means 40, right? But the 40 days are not 40 days anymore. The 40 days are probably, if you multiply by 3, maybe 100 days. So you gotta adapt, life continues and life is very impermanent. It's something that we cannot stop. It's inevitable. The changes are inevitable and you have to go with the flow. With my meditations, I have learned that the only thing I can actually focus is on my breathing, and through my breathing I get all these ideas of what to do. I've been an online coach for 7 years, so the transition for me before quarantine and now, it hasn't been drastic. It has not been drastic. It's only been a little bit extra work because everything that was, I was at 75% online, 25% in person, doing some classes like Pilates. All those Pilates classes got transferred into online. That's my only change. But people like you, the profession is more into on hands, right? That you are a physiotherapist, people visit to the clinic and they get to see you, you get to touch their bodies, align and help. What do you do? Like that's the topic today. What are the professionals that work with the hands? How they can adapt their skills in a digital, in a virtual way. So tell us, Nab, how are you doing this? I know you're doing great so far, but I just teach us, what are you doing to transfer your skills in a virtual way?
Totally. And I think that's a great conversation to have because literally like thousands of healthcare professionals are sitting at home kind of like twiddling their thumbs being like, oh my God, what should I do? And there's like a lot of stress, anxiety around that as well because at the essence of it, like we want to help people. That's why we're in healthcare. And now we can't do it, right? But there's always two sides of the coin. So one is the healthcare professional perspective, and then the other one is actually the patient perspective. So in terms of healthcare providers, so a lot of physiotherapists, massage therapists for sure, that's based on touch. Chiropractors, acupuncturists, like it's a very hands-on profession, but that's the person's bias, right? So everyone has their own bias about and like perspective and like way of like looking at things and the lens through which we look through. And so if you only think that like the only skill you have is like your hands-on skills, then you're defining yourself by that, right? But when a patient comes in for care, they're not just looking for the hands-on perspective. They're looking for, okay, does this person, can they provide a sense of comfort to me? Do I feel relaxed in their presence? Does it feel like I'm taken care of, right? And a lot of what I do is actually verbal. And if I can do the same thing verbally online and create that presence, then do they actually need to be touched? And the way you're even talking about, a lot of what I'm doing is breathing, right? You're allowing that breath to guide like how you're feeling and flow of energy and thinking about how you're feeling and your emotions and feelings. That's what actually drives our physical sensations as well. And so for me, honestly, it hasn't been a tough transition at all because that's the way I practice and that's the way I've always practiced. So whether someone's doing online or in person, it's the same for me because I actually don't do a lot of hands-on because then the patient has to rely on me for their care, right? So that's kind of like the healthcare practitioner's perspective. And then the client perspective is, especially for a lot of patients coming in, if they rely on that touch, they get dependent on it, right? And over and over and over, they're like, okay, for my well-being, I actually have to go to this person because that's the only thing that helps me feel better with my back pain, with my posture, if they have scoliosis, right? If they have hip issues, that kind of thing. And so it's our role, and I think you'll kind of concur with this as well. It's our role as healthcare providers, as trainers, as nutritionists, to provide that sense of empowerment to our clients so they don't feel dependent on us. Because what we're doing is we're empowering them so that they can feel like they have control of their health care, their well-being, their wellness journey, and eventually, like, they don't really need us at the end of the day because we provide them with those tools.
Yes, you touch on a very important point because as a health professionals, we are offering the tools and the map for them to follow to unstuck themselves, right? Like us, right? Like we kind of feel stuck in this moment, so we gotta find those tools that want to move us. So they want to move us from point A to point B. Same, that's what I've been doing. So I always tell my clients, I'm only offering you the tools for you to be independently free and finding the optimization of your health without me having you there all the time. I'm also a Thai massage therapist, so I do also hands-on, but in this moment, I've been focusing more in the cueing and other ways to communicate our message, because eventually at the end we are communicating our skills and our message through different channels, right? So the channel of kinesthetic with our hands is a channel, but we could also communicate it in so many other ways. So I do have content like visuals.
And I would just like to say, because I know a lot of like healthcare professionals follow you as well as like trainers, like other professionals, and it's just important because they might be listening to us right now and they're like, okay, well, they're just talking about this, but they actually like literally they feel stuck, and the reason they feel stuck is because they lack trust and lack self-confidence in themselves to actually do it. Or they're like, oh, she's just talking, but really, like, there's no way you can make, like, a living off of it, because at the end of the day, like, we need to be able to take care of ourselves while at the same time taking care of our patients, right? And, like, I can let you know, like, literally I'm making more money, right, and taking care of myself more, like, at home providing these services than actually going into the clinic, right? And so that's just something, like, I think that's important to share because, everyone's like, well, no, I have to go to the clinic to make money. No, you can do that at home and you're still helping people do it, but you have to have the confidence to do it. If you don't believe in yourself, the patient is going to, and your client's going to see it immediately, and they can sense that energy.
Yeah. Definitely the confidence that actually you can communicate through verbal cues, things that are important for the client to understand, especially for alignment. Same like when I'm teaching yoga, I can teach you yoga in a studio or online, and the only thing that they will follow is my voice. I barely touch my clients because privacy and like I try not to really touch them. I poke them with my finger if I have to. Normally I don't. But I feel like for me, it's been very productive time for me because the commuting is saving me time. The hour is more efficient because for some reason the client knows that the hour has a limit. So from the beginning to the end, the client is paying more attention to the session. For some reason, it's very interesting how actually my clients say like, "Wow, I'm 40 minutes. I'm actually feeling that I'm sweating more than when I'm actually with you in the gym." So actually, there's some benefits in both sides. Plus, when I do online, the rate is lower because it's not the same than being energetically connected. The rate is a little bit lower for me. I'm not sure about if you have dropped the rate. Is the same?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
And that's another thing. If you believe and you feel like it's like literally like you're devaluing your service by saying it's a lower rate because it's online, but you're literally providing, you just mentioned like it's actually better. They're saying you're getting actually better feedback.
Efficient time.
The rate should be exactly the same. There
Okay.
should be no devaluation. A lot of clinics have done this where they're devaluing themselves, and literally you're telling the patient that I'm providing less of a service to you online than I am in person. But it's really not.
Well, in my case, a little bit because I do stretches and I stretch my clients. So I do a little bit of less of my own, So yeah, I think I in my case it's a little different on the hour. And also the time is, instead of being 60 minutes, it's usually 45 minutes. So it's a little bit shorter session, but very efficient. I usually tell my client to warm up before the class starts and then they do it. But another thing I think is very important for us, like you and I, we've been connecting online virtually. Even though we're in the same city, we connect virtually just because it saves us time and it makes this happen possible with no excuses. I feel like that's another thing. I've been connected with more entrepreneurs and professionals in my field all over the world. So the last 4 weeks, I have at least 6 interviews like this where we're sharing information, especially the posture for people that are sitting for long hours. I've been just talking about posture, and I think that's another way for us to create more of an awareness that we're not here alone, we're here together. So if you are working so enthusiastically where you are, and then you share that energy with me, and then now it's not just you and I, so now it's like a global connection of all these professionals putting together content that is needed to be told out there. So I think that's also important. I've been connecting with like Australia, India, LA. So it's been very fun to have conversations about things that I love, and also listening to other people, what they're doing in their communities. So I think that's another opportunity for us to connect to others globally, virtually through conferences like this.
That's amazing that you're doing that and you're creating such a global community. And then like when, like this, whatever restrictions are over, then like you can even like go and like travel to those places, and then you have those people to connect with. And I think at this point in time, that's what like a lot of people are craving. They're craving that connection, and this is the best time to actually connect with our other people because they're so open to it as well.
Totally. So for those people that are listening to us, and let's say they are physiotherapists, acupuncturists, and they feel stuck at home, they're listening to us, but they really don't believe us, what would be the number one recommendation, or what do you think they kind of need to do, like trust themselves more or have more confidence, create?
Really, for them it's important to really look at like what actually drives their practice. If it is at the like core of it is helping people, right? Find a way to help people. These patients need help. They want help. Like, unless you go out there and tell your community that you're available for appointments and that you're available to, help with stress, anxiety, decreasing pain, increasing range of motion, all those things. Like, so some patients, they have literally like chronic and persistent pain. They don't know who to go to right now, right? So unless you put yourself out there, you're not going to get patients. Like, no one's going to magically just show up, right? You really have to like align yourself with your intention of like, okay, I actually want to help people. And even though I don't feel, the confidence right now, that's okay. I'm just going to, create my website, create my Instagram page. I'm going to put it out there that I'm actually doing virtual appointments. And that's okay, even if you're getting a few patients. It's better than nothing, better than feeling stuck right now. So even starting slow is fine. And that would be the first step. It's like looking at what you want to do, and if you want to help people, just put your name out there and see what happens.
Yeah. Like Nav says, I think the most important is that in moments that things don't go as the routine, we need to create and we need to be very creative. So just finding a way of serving the community, serving the world, or serving that specific audience that you have the skills to support. And on this dynamic, it's been very interesting for me because I've been focusing on posture and the anti-inflammatory diet, which is connected to all the inflammation that is causing all this pain in the joints, in our muscle, even headaches, right? Inflammation is just acute, chronic. So it could be so diverse, right? The way as we can find the inflammation. And the last 6 weeks, or like even 7 weeks already at home, is being so much with inflammation, right? So that's when I be like, okay, my program is just, it suits so much now. So it's actually a great time for me to be visible, because like you're saying, if I'm hiding myself under the rocks, how people will know what I'm doing? And so I serve the world. I basically serve the world. Many times, to be honest, I'm putting myself out there for free, but it's the way for people to know who I am. And eventually, like from 10 minutes to be out there, at least one person will like me, and maybe that person will become my client, you know? So like, I think the most important is to really be visible and be out there.
And yeah, the last thing I'll say is like, which like totally kind of like aligns with what you're saying, is like, if you're not gonna do it now, like this is the best time to try things.
Totally.
We know in a couple months or whatever, next month, like we're all gonna go back to our regular lives, right? So this is the perfect time to try things that you never thought were possible, or you wouldn't be doing. And maybe you're like, oh, now I have an idea, or like, is this actually gonna work? So that's the other place a lot of people are stuck in. They have that time and they're thinking, well, this is actually what I want to do. Do it now. Because even if it doesn't work, that's okay. You can go back to your like regular job. Yeah. At least then you know you've tried.
Totally. It's actually, you still have time. You may have at least 4 more weeks to give it a try, something new that you've never done it before and you want to experience and experiment. The only way for you to know is to try it and then change it and shape it as it goes. Because this program, like I was saying, I started with a lot of posture thing. I still do my posture class every 2 p.m. and I'm giving it as a complimentary to all the community that follow me. But actually been really successful with the nutrition part. So I've been signing a lot of new clients for nutrition, because people are getting 5 to 6 kilos in 6 weeks, you know. So they're desperate at this point, like, Joa, please help me. I want to get rid of 5 kilos. So then it's not that bad. It's not that hard neither. Like, as soon as you find 2, it's like an energy. It comes 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a point, like, I need other people to help me. Like, I don't have the time. So it's true. This time is the time to bring your new tools, show them. If it doesn't really work, just like shape it as it goes. Just shape it, you know, like that's how you know. So I'm so happy that I've been working with you, Nav. Like, we're so comfortable talking together about these topics, and we were built for this. This is the moment to become leaders, you know. This is the moment to shine. And people like us, we're so resilient. We were made for this, you know. So I'm so happy that you are, as a physiotherapist, you're not at home watching TV. You're actually there helping people from the computer, and especially the mothers out there. I know you're helping a lot of mothers with back pain, and yes, I'm very happy also that we're able to share this message with everyone. Do you have anything else you want to share today?
I don't think so. I think we've kind of like gotten to the core of the, you know, like our conversation. You know, it's all about, you know, it actually comes down to like self-love, self-care, and then being able to extend that and share that energy with others. And that's what we're promoting every time we're talking as well, right? So that's kind of the core of it. And yeah, I'm always here helping everybody, and you're always here helping everybody. So I love how we're always like aligning and increasing and lifting our energies up. So thank you for that.
Always. For those that don't know, Nav also has a program that she works on the integrative part of Reiki with physiotherapy. Physiotherapy works more on the physical part, and then she works also on the emotional and spiritual part with the Reiki practice that she's doing, putting it together. She has a group called the Illumination Priest.
Yeah, so I actually have, so I'm doing, I created, like, when COVID started, I was like, okay, what can I do to help support my community? So I created My Virtual Wellness, so it's on Instagram. And everyone can like find the information on there about appointments, all that kind of stuff as well, and consults. And then within that, I also have, so obviously like physiotherapy, pelvic physiotherapy appointments, but then people usually like need more, right? Like physical healing, what's actually underneath can also be emotional healing as required. So yes, I created Divine Priestess Illumination, and it's really to harness the power of femininity, which we're oftentimes squashing and like keeping down because we think it's weakness within us, to help clear any emotional blockages that's really stopping and preventing people from being where they want to be in life. And honestly, we're just talking about that even now, right? Emotional blockages, feeling lack of confidence, to actually like start your own practice online. So like that would be an example of it, but it could be with relationships, career, personal life, anything like that.
Great. So you've already been doing this online with this group of ladies, right?
Yes, it's all online, and that's the best way to kind of like reach people as well. Like, because who doesn't want to take their courses from home? When going to university, when we were younger, we would always think about that. Right? I just want to be at home.
Yeah, for sure. So convenient. Well, so if you want to find Nav Grewal online, is at My Virtual Wellness. Is in Instagram. You can text her, DM her, direct message her, and she's gonna reply to you directly. Same for me at JRP Fitness. We are so happy. We just started a new month with a great conversation, very positive, and we just wish you the best this month. If you have goals, it's time to write it down and to get it there and just go after it. Okay, so we send you the best of the vibe for May, and we're looking forward for new conversations with Nav. Remember that together we are stronger.
We invite you to subscribe to this channel and share with your community. Please leave comments below, and if you like the episode, click the like button. Have a beautiful day.